Hi everybody, Gigi here. We're gonna do things a little bit different today. I got my sisters to help me out to share some baking tips. We're gonna start with Marshall. Everybody likes to call her Aunt Shell. Next we've got Mary. Then we've got me, Gigi, I'll be next. And then Rosanna. And that's how we're gonna run things today, so you might wanna take notes for some good baking tips.
Good morning. I have 2 baking tips that I'd like to share with you. One of them, I'm sure that most of you really already use this, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention for a reason. And that reason is, once you're finished baking your cookies or your bread or whatever you're baking, you need to take it out and put it on a baking rack so that it will not continue to bake, to cook. And oftentimes when we do our cookies, we just leave it on the pan to cool and then they just continue to cook. So there's tip number 1. Now then, tip number 2 is another handy dandy baking recipe. Well, I'll give you 3 tips. The second tip would be to use just a little cover on your rolling pins to kind of keep them protected as you are storing them in your drawer or wherever you keep them. But my third little baking tip for the day is, when you are doing cookies that you roll out, and oftentimes if you on your countertop put flour, it actually will make the cookies be a little harder in texture. So my tip for the day, which maybe several of you don't know about, is rather than using flour, use powdered sugar.
Ooh, never thought of that.
Then roll them out and they will not absorb any more flour, and there might be just a little added sweetness too. So I hope you have a sweet day today.
I love that.
Happy cooking.
Good morning, little children. Are you ready to bake with Mary? I am, as you remember, Gigi's sister, and we love to cook. This morning we are going to talk about how to surprise your family by making magical yummies for breakfast. So think about this. What if you could hide something in little cups like this, and you would put a scoop of already made pancake batter and 3 blueberries, and then a little more pancake batter on top, and you put it in the freezer. And in the morning, before Mom and Dad maybe wake up, go and get them out of the freezer, and you take them out, flip them over, and look what you get. Nobody knows. Uh-oh. You're going to have a grill that will work. This one is, the blueberries are sticking on this pan.
So are we making pancakes?
It's surprise magical pancakes.
Okay, that's a fun tip, to take your frozen batter and put it into a pancake.
And then in the morning, look what you put on the top. Where did that go?
Oh, her Mary Poppins bag. What's she gonna pull out of there? Maybe she's not.
In my bag, I usually carry some strawberry syrup.
Okay.
And oh, look what I found.
Oh,
Don't you love surprises?
okay.
Okay, think what it's going to taste like if you have strawberry syrup that you pour over the pancakes. And who doesn't love? Whoa. Hold that thought. Do you have any idea what I'm going to do with this?
I think I know what you have.
Do you love to do this?
Oh, yummy. Even better on a pancake.
Have fun.
Thanks for your tip. Okay, kiddos, Gigi's here again, and my tip for the day, we've talked a little bit about this in a previous video, but I wanted to just let you know what I came up with. Let's talk about my baking bin. I want to show you what I have in here. I got this little box. I can't remember where I got it, but you could find a cheap one at Dollar Tree or Target or anywhere you want to go. You want it to be small enough to fit inside your cupboard easily. And you want to put all the necessities that you have with baking in one spot. I've got baking powder. I've even got barbecue rub in here, cornstarch, salt, baking soda, cinnamon. I've got my baker's chocolate. I've got my cocoa. I have my vanilla. I've even got my birthday candles. And I have my little additives to make a stiffer whipped cream, not gelatin or vanilla pudding. And then I've got my scale when I want to weigh something. So I've got this in a cupboard that's right next to my area where I bake. I pull the whole box out, set it on my counter, and do my baking and put it all away again. And that's my favorite baking tip.
And you know what? It appears to me that your container actually, to me, looks like it is a planter.
A planter? Well, it could be. It's a good size to do a lot of things.
And I love the handles on it.
Okay.
Good morning, boys and girls. I have a tip for you. Parchment paper. Parchment paper is so cool. You can do so many things with it. But one of them is when you're cooking, when you're baking, when you're going to make a mess, you can put it out on the counter. And when you're done, all you have to do is roll it up, fold it up, and throw it away. So I'm going to show you a second tip. When you have soft cheese and you don't want it to turn into mush in your grater, here's the tip. Put your block of cheese in the freezer 30 minutes before you need it. And then it will shred like butter. So we're going to cut this cold cheese. And look at that. No mud on the grater. So that's my tip for today.
I love it.
So Rose, I have a tip to add to that.
Please.
On your baking sheets where you're baking cookies and cookie bars, things like that, and the recipe calls for oiling it or putting some spray on it, that's what turns your beautiful pans dark on the edges, and it's that oil. And so my tip is to go ahead and always put parchment paper on your cookie sheets, and then you won't have all of that oil buildup.
Not only that, if you don't have a lid to your pan, all you do is you take a piece of parchment paper, fold it, cut it in a half circle, the size of your pan, and put it over the top.
So
I
great.
have a tip too.
Okay.
One more thing. So if you froze your meal and you want to eat it quickly, you want to put it in the microwave, put a small section on a paper plate and get another paper plate and put that over the top. Or of course you could use parchment paper. Aren't we smart sisters?
I love it. Thanks for all the tips today.